For Movie Fixers, I'm PT. Today I'm going to fix you up with a quick review of the movie War Dogs, starring Miles Teller and Jonah Hill. War Dogs tells the story of two 20-something guys who live in Miami, and through a series of government loopholes and audacity, basically, they become arms dealers and get in way over their head, selling military equipment to the U.S. government, sometimes doing it through shady means. I came into this movie expecting it to be a little more like The Big Short. If you think about it, there's a lot of comparisons that are possible between these two movies. They're both directed by directors who are more known for broader comedies. Adam McKay in the case of The Big Short, and in the case of War Dogs, Todd Phillips, who's more known for the Hangover movies. They're also both true stories that are based on works of nonfiction. The Big Short is based on a book, and War Dogs is based on an article that was in Rolling Stone. But really, it wasn't a whole lot like The Big Short. I expected it to kind of look more at the social issues, and sometimes in a humorous way, but kind of looking at the social issues around like dealing arms and selling military equipment and stuff like that. It really didn't do that, though. Instead, what it actually did is it followed more of a Goodfellas trajectory. And I don't say that as a criticism because I enjoy that trajectory, that kind of plot of someone who gets involved in something possibly shady, and we see them rise to the highest heights, and then we see them in over their head kind of brought down. There's a lot of movies that follow that. I'm thinking of like Blow by Johnny Depp as an example. And it's not really a spoiler for War Dogs to say that they're brought down, because the opening scene actually shows our main character Miles Teller being kidnapped by some Albanian gangsters and held at gunpoint. So we know that right off the bat. This is also a very voiceover heavy movie, with our main character Miles Teller narrating the events of his life that led from him being just a masseuse to being this arms dealer who was going for these lofty contracts, very high-priced contracts with the U.S. government. As it's explained in the movie, because of some blowback from the way that defense contracts were awarded previously, and some criticism of Dick Cheney, like awarding these defense contracts to certain people, the government is looking for smaller companies to award these contracts to, which kind of opens up the gateway for Jonah Hill and Miles Teller to move in there and bid on these contracts, which they're basically in no way qualified to actually fulfill. I like this movie a lot. I thought, first of all, it was very well written, even though it did follow that Goodfellas trajectory. I think it did so very well. It was funny, the dialogue was great, and even though knew where it was going, the ride to get there was great. Great performances as well. Jonah Hill was awesome. Miles Teller, though, I want to give him a shout out too, because he had the more thankless task. He was our main character, more of the kind of the straight man, and he had to do all the heavy lifting with those voiceovers, and he did an excellent job. Kudos to Todd Phillips as well. This movie looks great. It has a very particular, vibrant look to it that I very much enjoyed. So this movie came out for home video, for Blu-ray and streaming towards the end of November 2016, so it should be available in whatever your preferred format is now. I also want to point you to a written review by my Movie Fixers co-host Kevin. He wrote this when the movie first came out in theaters. I'll link to that in the description below. You definitely want to check that out. That's your quick fix review of War Dogs. Make sure and check out our podcast, Movie Fixers, where we don't just talk about bad movies, we actually try to fix them. And make sure to subscribe to this channel. I'll be back every week with a new quick fix review. Thanks for watching. Bye.